Hello, this is the Star Media with Mahmoud Ahmad, and thank you for joining us. Please remember to subscribe. The executive and the judiciary are at loggerheads after President Uhuru Kenyatta failed to appoint the 6 judges. Many Kenyans are asking what is next. And today in studio with me is lawyer Frank. Thank you, Mr. Frank, for making time for us today.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, lawyer Frank, allow me to take you back a little bit.
Yes.
Do you think the president made the right call? Let's begin right there.
First of all, I would like to say that the president is a symbol of unity, and the president is expected to adhere to the oath of office. And that is to be obedient and follow the constitution to the letter. But when he has the appointment of judges and he appoints some and leaves others out, then we question his actions as in regards to obedience to the constitution. The constitution guides us and guides everyone as in regards to the appointment of judges and magistrates. That is in reference to Article 166 of the Constitution of Kenya, which says that the president shall appoint. Now, shall simply means that, or rather denotes a state where something must be done.
It's a must.
It's a must be done. When the word shall is used, that denotes that that thing has to be done. It must be done. It's mandatory for that thing to be done. So when the Constitution says that the president shall appoint, it simply means that the president must appoint. The other thing is, the article continues and says that the president shall appoint in, or rather, to just be clear.
Yeah, to clarify.
It says that with the recommendations, in accordance with the recommendations of the Judicial Service Commission. Now, in accordance with the recommendation, that simply says, or rather means, that the president has nothing else to do, but he only needs to appoint that which he has been given by the Judicial Service Commission. So, when the president chooses to appoint 34 judges and leaves out 6 judges, that is a contravention or a breach of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. It's a betrayal of his oath. It shows that he does not have regard to the rule of law. He does not have regard to the spirit of constitutionalism. He is the one person that the nation looks at, that who goes right ahead and violates the Constitution of Kenya. So, to my own conclusion, it is a violation of the Constitution of the president to leave out the 6 judges.
All right, fair enough, lawyer Frank. The president defended his decision that the 6 judges had integrity issues. Your take?
Well, I'd like to mention to you basically what happens before the Judicial Service Commission presents the list of persons to be appointed as judges to the president. First, the Judicial Service Commission puts a notice inviting prospective persons, those who wish to occupy the positions of judges, to make applications. Or rather, it can go on its own to just go and select. But once the Judicial Service has selected those said persons, they write letters to various offices, including the office of the president, including the office of the DPP, including the office of the anti-corruption, the Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission. They write letters to various offices doing inquiries on the conduct of these said persons. So when the list has, when those complaints or rather views have been brought, the Judicial Service Commission will sit down, they will look at them, and the said persons, if they have integrity issues, they will be questioned. And I think once they have been questioned, the Judicial Service Commission, in its own wisdom, selects those who are fit for office. Now, that is one. Now, once they have selected, they present the list to Parliament for Parliament to approve. And once Parliament has approved, they send that list to the President to do what? To appoint. Now, at that point, the President cannot raise integrity issues once that list has landed on his desk. He can only do so before the list comes. He can say that such and such a person, I have these issues with them. Now, that does not lock out the President from lodging a complaint against any person selected for the position of magistrate or judge. But once the list has been presented to him, at that point, he has no choice other than to just do the appointment. In other words, his position, or rather his role in the appointment of judges and magistrates, at that point is basically ceremonial. He just rubber stamps the list that he has been given by the Judicial Service Commission. Now, the question is, what happens, or rather, what ought to be done when that list has already landed in the President's office, and yet he, as a person, he feels like something, or rather someone, has integrity issues. The first thing he should do is basically follow the Constitution, and the Constitution dictates that he should appoint, and then look at the Constitution again under Article 168, where he gets the process of how to launch a complaint against a person who has been appointed as a magistrate or a judge for basic reasons as integrity issues. So whatever he did, as he is defending his decisions of not appointing the 6 judges, basically that will not be considered, even if it has a lot of weight in it. It will not be considered because it is not done in the proper way. Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Frank. Both former CJs, that is CJ William Mutunga and CJ David Maraga, termed the President's action as a disregard for the rule of law. What's your take?
You see, when Kenyans see the person leading them breaking the law, that shows that the person who's leading them and is breaking the law has no regards for the rule of law. So we ask ourselves, what does it mean for the rule of law? The rule of law means you get justice where you deserve. You get to do things the right way, following the correct procedures, and being an example to the whole nation now that you are the president. But when you are not following the law, then basically, I will agree with former Chief Justice David Maraga and even William Mutunga that the president has no regard for the rule of law, because he has not taken into considerations the provisions of the Constitution as in regards to the appointment of judges when he appoints some and leaves out some. Yes.
Okay, that's fair enough, Mr. Frank. Then, is the president a serial breaker of the law?
My personal views is that I expect the president to adhere to his oath. And the oath basically says that he should defend the Constitution to the latter. Now we have seen him breaking the Constitution, or rather violating some provisions of the Constitution. Mr. Mohammed, we cannot apply the law selectively. We have to apply the law holistically. In that we cannot go to the times and days that when something favors you, you applaud it, but when it does not favor you, you reject it. You see, that is barbaric. That is primitive. We are in an era whereby the Constitution has to apply to every person holistically, not selectively. So, the idea that the president is selecting, is applying the law to some judges and disregarding others, that is a clear show that the president is not keen on protecting the Constitution. And that makes me think that he is not he cannot be entrusted with defending the Constitution of Kenya as at now.
All right, fair enough, Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank, I saw today a newspaper headline. The president said that he will not accept anything. He will not swear the judges. So we are in that state. So what is next?
You see, we are in a difficult constitutional crisis as a country because we do not want to. We want to see a state whereby the leader follows and protects and defends the Constitution up to the last minute. But now we have seen a president who does not want to follow that which the Constitution says. And I'm saying that if we allow such things to continue, little by little we will go back to the dark ages, whereby the judiciary had no independence, whereby the judiciary had no voice, whereby things will just happen. We will go back to the ages where a magistrate or a judge will sit in court, and instead of looking at a case and applying the law, he will be looking at a case and then thinking what the president would have said, will be saying when he makes such a decision. And those are not good times. Those are not the days that we will say that we have justice. Those are the days that we will be seeing a lot of anarchy. Those are the days that we'll be seeing a lot of chaos. Those are the days that the law will be lawless. The law will not have any position in our daily activities. So if we allow the president to continue doing these actions, we might end up there. We might even be worse than Somalia. We might even be worse than other nations who do not have regard to the law. It is the Constitution of Kenya which binds all of us, and it is the Constitution of Kenya that gives life to the nation itself. It is the Constitution of Kenya that guides us, that brings us the principles that we do embrace, and if we do not follow that, then we will end up being a state which has a useless state, basically.
All right, fair enough, Lawyer Frank. Mr. Frank, before we end our discussion today, maybe your final thoughts? What's your camera?
For every Kenyan, I want to say that the Constitution of Kenya is that which guides us and gives us life and gives us the order of the day. So if we have leaders who do not consider the provisions of the Constitution and follow them to the latter, we will end up being a state that is lifeless. Let me use that term. A state which is dead. And when we allow that to happen, there will be a lot of anarchy. So I will call upon any law-abiding citizen and every patriot to stand up and condemn the actions of the president to the strongest terms. And when we go for elections, I would like to urge Kenyans to select people who are able to protect and follow the Constitution, because that is what gives us life. That is what guides us as a nation. Yes.
All right, fair enough, Lawyer Frank. That was Mr. Frank. And on that note, we come to the end of our discussion today. Thank you, Lawyer Frank, for making time for us here at the Star Media with Mahmoud Ahmed.
Thank you very much.
And until then, remember, mother is always right.